Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name's Jono. I'm a former lawyer turned full-time filmmaker based in Sydney, Australia. As many of you guys know, I started my videography journey back in July 2019 when I bought my first camera, a Canon 200D, and I started off with a kit lens. At the time, I had just been working in corporate as a lawyer for about a year since graduating university, and I just felt like working in corporate as a lawyer, I needed something outside of work, something creative to work on, and that's why I bought that first camera. In January 2020, I ended up partnering up with my best mate Jason and started up a little videography side hustle whilst I was working full-time and Jace was studying full-time in law school. And this was awesome for us because we learned a new skill and we were able to start generating a little bit of side income on the weekends and weeknights after work. We kept videography as a side hustle and gradually worked on it for about 2 years up until the start of 2022 when I actually decided to quit my 9-to-5 job in corporate to go full-time with our videography business. And in our first full year in business, by mid-2023, we actually managed to grow our videography business to a multi-six-figure business. And looking back now on my videography journey over the last 5 years, I would say that one of the biggest contributing factors that have allowed us to get to this point in our journey so far has been our willingness to organize what we call passion projects. Projects that we do in our own spare time where clients aren't actually paying us, but we're organizing them because, well, we can and we're passionate about it and we want to do these projects, hence the name passion projects. Over the last few years since we started videography, we've done countless passion projects and also paid projects for real life clients. And looking back, I'd say without a doubt, the passion projects have been the projects that have given us the most joy, fulfillment, and also business opportunities in our videography journey. And so in this video, I actually wanted to talk you guys through 4 specific passion projects that we've done throughout our videography journey that I think had the most transformative effect on our career so far. And so with that, let's get started. So the first passion project that I want to talk about is actually our cooking channel, Simple Cookery. So back in December 2018, I was on a gap semester, taking a break from graduating university and starting full-time work at the start of 2019. So I had a lot of spare time at the time and I had started up this cooking blog called Jono the Student Cook, where I was sharing some of my favorite recipes. Back in uni, I loved watching all these cooking channels like Jamie Oliver, Gennaro Contaldo, and also the guys from Sorted Food. And I'd always wanted to start my own cooking channel as well. But obviously I didn't have the skills, so I just started out with a blog. And one day over like a FIFA session or something, Jace just mentioned, hey, all these recipes on your website look really nice, but what if we just turn these into actual videos and start up a YouTube channel? I loved watching cooking channels on YouTube during university, and that was the primary way that I learned how to cook. And I just thought, hey, that would be so fun doing it for ourselves. So Jace actually bought his first camera in December 2018, a Canon 1300D, which he got for $300, and also a nifty 50 lens. And with that combo, we started up our cooking channel. I was doing the cooking and Jason was primarily doing the filming. At the beginning, our videos were horrible. It took us hours just to learn the editing process, but we also had a ton of fun. This was a picture of us celebrating uploading our first ever YouTube video. And for the entire 2019, even when I started full-time work, Jason and I would make one recipe video each week, and our videos gradually started improving. And so when I bought my first camera in July 2019, the Canon 200D, it was quite a significant upgrade from what we had at that point in time, which was the Canon 1300D. And that was the point where I thought, hey, we've really enjoyed doing these videos for our own cooking channel. What if we also start doing videos for other clients as well? And so that's where we started actually reaching out to local restaurants on the weekends. We started up an Instagram page where we uploaded a couple of the cooking videos that we had done for our YouTube channel. And then we started DMing local restaurants in our area, offering free portfolio shoots. We kept on repeating this process every single weekend from August 2019 up until November 2019 and started sharing more of the work that we were doing for these restaurants on our Instagram until it got to a point where we actually started getting clients DMing us asking about paid work. This then opened the door to our first couple of paid videography projects, one of them which was where we partnered up with a local marketing agency who managed social media for a lot of local restaurants. And that's what really kickstarted our videography journey. None of this would have actually happened if we hadn't have started with that first passion project, which was our cooking channel. That cooking channel ignited our passion for videography and pushed us to take those first couple of steps in our journey. Okay, so the second passion project I want to talk to you guys about was one that we did back in mid 2021. It was actually two projects, a basketball video and also a boxing video. At the time, we were actually still doing videography as a side hustle. I was still working full time. Jason was still studying full time in law school, and we had actually started getting pretty consistent videography work on the side, mainly creating social media videos for local restaurants and local businesses, and also walkthrough videos for local real estate agents as well. But a lot of the shoots during that time were very run and gun. We would literally just rock up, try to shoot whatever we could, and then try to piece something together in the editing room afterwards. So a lot of the videos that we were producing at the time, we weren't particularly too proud of. We felt a little bit like content robots, just churning out a high quantity of videos that no one really cared about. At the time on YouTube, we were watching a lot of these athlete story films from guys like Danny Gervitz, Tenfold Productions, brands like Nike, LSKD, and we felt really inspired because growing up, Jason and I had always been really into sports, so we felt like this area was something that we really wanted to create content in. So in mid 2021, we went out and we organized two passion projects. The first one was a basketball project with a fitness influencer who had actually previously DM'd me asking to collab. And the second one was a boxing video with a professional boxer that we had met on one of our shoots previously. But instead of doing the run and gun approach that we had been doing for most of our projects up until this point in our videography journey, we actually approached these two projects in a completely different way. For these two projects, we actually ended up putting a lot more time, effort and intention into the planning process. We scouted out the locations that we wanted to film, the time of day that we're going to organize the shoot, the outfits that we wanted the athletes to wear, even down to the music that we were going to use for the edit, and also the voiceover that we're going to put as the audio component of the videos. For the boxing project, we even spent $150 to hire a haze machine for the day. I still remember the day when we did the basketball video. I was so excited that I edited the video the afternoon of the shoot, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the final video come together. I was so excited. Jason was having an afternoon nap at the time, and I woke him up just so I could show him the video. I honestly thought in my head, wow, this honestly looks like something that Nike would produce. And from burnt out doing all these run and gun social media shoots, creating really crappy videos that I wasn't proud of, to all of a sudden producing something that I genuinely was so proud to show other people and that I felt excited by, was a really cool feeling. And doing these two passion projects, the basketball video and the boxing video, completely changed the game for us in terms of two aspects. Number one was that it actually changed the way that we thought about ourselves as videographers. No longer did we feel like these content creators who are only capable of producing these fun, flashy edits for social media, but for the first time in our journey, we felt like genuine filmmakers, people who were able to evoke an emotion with our videos and also tell really impactful stories that people actually cared about. And the second thing that really transformed after doing these two projects was how other people, especially clients, started perceiving us as well. What I found was after these two projects, we stopped getting lowball clients that were just looking for videographers who could do it for the cheapest price. And we actually started attracting clients that valued us for our storytelling and our creativity. This then led to really interesting projects that we got to work on over the next coming years. For example, the video with Sydney FC, where we basically got to take charge of the entire process from the creative concept all the way to directing the shoot and also the post-production as well. And again, none of those cool projects would have ever come about if we didn't take a risk to organize these first two passion projects first. Now, before we move on to the next passion project, if you are a beginner videographer looking to take your journey to the next level and surround yourself with a group of like-minded individuals who are on the same path as you, then go check out our school community, link below. In our school community, we have our online course, the Filmmaker Accelerator, as well as a chance to connect with people in the community through live events like live monthly workshops on business and filmmaking, and also our Q&A calls. So we'd love to have you in the community. Go check it out in the link below. Moving on to the third passion project that I want to talk to you guys about. This was a lifestyle commercial that we created for one of our existing clients who was a property developer that built residential towers in Sydney. The biggest difference between this project and all the other ones that I'm going to be talking about in this video was the fact that for this project, we actually got paid. So rewinding the clock back to late 2021, after completing the two passion projects, the basketball video and the boxing video, we were on a bit of a high. We had rediscovered our passion for filmmaking again. We felt like real filmmakers and we wanted to keep the momentum going. And at the time, we had stumbled across a YouTuber called Eric Thane, and we bought his online course, the Cinema Mastery course, which taught us how to elevate our cinematography. And on his YouTube channel, we watched this one particular video where he was talking about the story of how he created this really high-end lifestyle commercial for a luxury ski resort, and we were really inspired by this story. And so we went out and started looking for opportunities where we could also do a similar style of project. We had this one client who we had been working with for about a year now, this property developer. So one day I decided to call up the marketing manager and I told her, hey, I've got this idea. What if we produce a lifestyle video for your project where we basically document and tell the story of a couple and what their day-to-day life looks like living in this development? The client loved the idea and asked me, how much is this going to cost? And in my mind, I was just thinking to myself, oh, I didn't actually think about that, because before I called, I was actually just happy to do it for free. But I actually told the client, okay, what I'm gonna do is over the next week, I'll prepare a bit of a pitch deck for you and I'll storyboard out the commercial with a bit of a budget for you to look back on. Over the next week, I went away, I produced a pitch deck on Canva and I pitched the client this project for $7,500. At the time, I was so scared because bear in mind at that point, the most we had ever charged for a video was, I think, $1,000. So to charge $7,500 for a project was just unheard of for me at the time. But I did it anyways because I felt like having the experience of the boxing video and also the basketball video, I felt like we had the skill set to be able to produce something worth $7,500. And to my surprise, the client actually accepted the proposal. And this was a pretty monumental moment in our videography journey because it made me realize, oh wow, like clients actually have pretty sizable budgets to allocate to this videography thing if you can demonstrate to them the value in what they're investing in. I pitched them a really ambitious idea that they loved, but it was also backed by the fact that we had done this basketball video and the boxing video that showed them that we were capable of this new level of production quality. And I think the combination of these two factors was a big reason why the client actually said yes to the $7,500 project. And after we closed this project, this really gave me the confidence that, hey, if we were to go full-time into this business, we could really scale this thing. And that was the moment where I actually, for the first time, where I thought to myself, maybe I can actually start thinking about quitting the 9 to 5 and going full-time with our videography business. Okay, now the fourth and final passion project that I want to talk you guys through was a brand story video that we actually did for our local networking group. At the start of 2022, when I quit my corporate job and went full-time into the videography business, once that fat corporate monthly paycheck stopped coming in, I realized, we probably need to start putting ourselves out there more in order to make more money. So at the time, I went to Google and I started looking for networking events to start building out my business contacts. And I ended up joining this networking group called BNI. Now, at the time, I had also bought this online course called the Real Deal Video Strategist Club, which taught me how to start selling this thing called a brand story video. A brand story video was something that was very popular for local businesses because it summed up a business in about 1 to 2 minutes. It told people what they do, what makes them different, and how they help their clients. And it basically serves as the hero content piece for a business's entire online presence. But the problem for us at the time was we had no brand story videos in our portfolio to showcase, because at the time, most of the shoots that we're doing were social media shoots for local restaurants and also walkthrough videos for real estate agents. So when I signed up for this local networking group, I thought to myself, what's the quickest way of putting ourselves out there and also demonstrating the value of our service? And that's when I actually went to the director of the entire networking group in the region, and I actually offered to do a passion project or a spec project, which was a brand story video for the actual networking group itself. Before the shoot, I watched a couple of really good brand story videos that I like from other video production agencies, and I started storyboarding the video, brainstorming the people that I wanted to interview, and also specific interview questions that would generate the emotive and impactful responses that I was looking for in the video. After we shot and edited the video, we sent it off to the director of the networking group, and she absolutely loved the video. She ended up sharing it across all her channels. Other business owners that were in the networking group itself also loved the video, and they started sharing it on their personal pages as well. So through that one project, we actually ended up getting a lot of traction for our business. This one project really skyrocketed our videography business at the very beginning, because back then, keep in mind, I was this 27-year-old kid who would rock up to these networking events with business owners who had been in business for about 10 to 30 years. And I felt like a massive imposter. But after doing that first project and seeing all the positive reception that it actually got, it made me feel like I had earned the right to be at the table. I think after that project, it proved to people, hey, I'm not just this 27-year-old kid with no experience. I'm actually here with real value to deliver. And after doing that spec project, we actually ended up getting a lot of the business owners who were in that networking group reaching out to us, looking to do a brand story video for their own business, where we're able to charge between $2,500 to $7,500 per project. We even had a brand manager of a pretty big construction company who saw that video on Facebook reach out to me, and we actually ended up closing a $15,000 brand story video package. So I would say one of the biggest contributing factors that allowed us to scale our videography business to the multi-six-figure milestone within our first full year was actually because of this project that we did for the local networking group. So looking back now on our videography journey over the last 5 years, I would say those are the 4 passion projects that I think completely changed the game for us. And I hope that one big lesson that you're able to take away from hearing our story and our experiences is to stop waiting for opportunities to fall in your lap. Actually go out there and create them for yourselves, even if no one's willing to pay you for it at the very beginning. Anyways, guys, thank you for staying until the very end of this video. I hope you're able to take some golden nuggets from the stories that I mentioned in this video. Let me know in the comments down below, what passion project would you organize for your own videography journey? As always, if you're a beginner videographer looking to take your journey to the next level, go check out our free resources, our creator kit, which contains pre-production guides from real shoots we've done in the past, as well as the 7-day videography email crash course. Don't forget to also check out our new school community. We'd love to connect with you guys there. That's it from me this week, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Stay focused.